Hello friends, welcome back to SNS. I am Martin, your practicing partner. This video is for English learners who want to speak just like native speakers, with natural fluency. If you have the same goal, don't focus too much on grammar rules. All you need to do is listen carefully to real English speakers. Notice how they speak, describe situations, and express their emotions. To help you with that, I've brought an interesting story filled with useful English expressions that you can use in your daily conversations. Your task is simple. Listen to me and try to repeat in the same rhythm and tone. If you follow these instructions, you'll soon notice a real change in your English speaking. In today's session, we're going to shadow an interesting story. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon and give the video a thumbs up. It will help other learners discover this video too. Check out the description for more videos. So, be ready, keep your tea beside you, and let's begin. The grand mansion stood at the edge of the hill, surrounded by tall, whispering trees. Its windows glimmered in the soft morning light, but inside it felt cold, as if the walls had forgotten what laughter sounded like. In that lonely house lived Eleanor Graves, a young woman of 22, graceful yet quiet. She had long brown hair, calm eyes, and a heart too gentle for the world she lived in. Her father, Mr. Graves, was a rich but strict businessman who cared more about status than feelings. Every morning, Eleanor would stand by her window, watching the town below come alive, children running, vendors shouting, birds flying freely. She often whispered to herself, "How simple and happy they are. I wish life could be that light." Her only friend in the mansion was Thomas, the gardener, a kind, hard-working young man with rough hands and a worn smile. He had worked there since childhood, always humble and respectful. Though they came from different worlds, their hearts understood each other. One afternoon, Eleanor walked down to the garden, holding a book. She saw Thomas trimming the roses and smiled. "Thomas," she said softly, "you care for these flowers better than anyone I've ever seen." He looked up, wiping the sweat from his forehead. "Maybe it's because I talk to them, miss. They say plants grow better when you speak kindly to them." Eleanor laughed lightly. "Then I suppose they must love you more than anyone here." Thomas smiled shyly. "They might, but they bloom because someone like you looks at them with joy." Their friendship grew with each passing day. Shared smiles, gentle words, and the quiet comfort of understanding. But the mansion, with all its beauty, was a cage. Mr. Graves had already planned Eleanor's future, to marry Richard Monroe, the son of a wealthy partner. When Eleanor heard the news, her face turned pale. "Father, I don't love him," she pleaded. "He's arrogant and cold. I can't marry for money." Mr. Graves frowned. "Love doesn't fill a table or keep a roof over your head. You'll learn that soon." Tears filled Eleanor's eyes. "Then what fills the heart, Father?" He turned away, ignoring her pain. That night she sat by her window, looking at the moon. The garden below glowed softly under the silver light. She saw Thomas still working late, his lantern flickering among the flowers. She whispered, "Oh, Thomas, why does love always bloom where it shouldn't?" Days passed, and the engagement preparations began. Eleanor felt trapped, her heart heavy, her smile forced. Thomas noticed her sadness, but dared not speak. Until one evening, he found her sitting alone on the garden bench, tears in her eyes. He hesitated, then said softly, "Miss Eleanor, if it's not my place, forgive me, but you look broken." She looked up, trying to smile. "You see more than most, Thomas." He took a step closer. You've always been kind to me. I can't stand seeing you hurt. Her voice trembled. They're making me marry someone I don't love. Thomas's hands tightened around his hat. Then don't, he whispered. You deserve to follow your heart. Eleanor laughed sadly. Follow my heart? In this house, hearts don't speak. Only money does. For a moment, silence filled the garden. Then Thomas said quietly, If love were easy, it wouldn't be worth fighting for. Eleanor looked at him, really looked at him, and in his eyes, she saw something real, something pure. The next day, Mr. Graves announced the engagement dinner. The mansion was full of guests, laughter, and music, but Eleanor felt nothing. Her eyes searched for Thomas, who stood quietly in the garden, watching from afar. During dinner, Richard raised his glass. To my future wife, he said proudly. She's lucky to have me. Eleanor's stomach turned. She stood up suddenly. No, she said firmly. I'm not lucky, and I'm not your wife. The guests went silent. Mr. Graves' face turned red with anger. Eleanor, he shouted, but she didn't stop. I won't live in a mansion built on pride and greed. I'd rather be poor and happy than rich and miserable. And with that, she ran out, her dress brushing against the marble floor, tears falling, heart pounding. She found Thomas in the garden. Eleanor, he said, shocked. I did it, she gasped. I told them no. Thomas looked at her, unsure whether to be afraid or proud. They'll be furious. I don't care, she said, breathless but smiling. For the first time, I feel free. He took her hand gently. Then let's go. There's a world beyond these gates, one where love doesn't need permission. That night, they left the mansion under the stars, walking hand in hand down the quiet road. The wind was cold, but their hearts were warm. Years later, in a small cottage surrounded by flowers, Eleanor and Thomas built a new life. He opened a small nursery, and she taught poor children to read. They didn't have riches, but they had peace, the kind that comes from love freely chosen. Sometimes, when the moonlight touched the garden, Eleanor would whisper, Do you miss the mansion? Thomas would smile. No, he'd say softly, because love doesn't live in shadows. It grows in the light. And she'd lean on his shoulder, whispering, Then we found our light. Now it's time to explain the meanings of the most difficult words from the story, along with their contextual usage and one simple alternative that you can use in your daily conversations. Word number 1, mansion, meaning a large, beautiful, and expensive house. Example, the old mansion stood quietly on the hill, filled with silence and memories. Alternative, large house, estate. Word number 2, graceful, meaning showing beauty, elegance, and smooth movement. Example, Eleanor walked gracefully through the garden, her dress flowing behind her. Alternative, elegant, charming. Word number 3, whispering, meaning making a soft, quiet sound like someone speaking in a low voice. Example, the trees were whispering softly in the night wind. Alternative, murmuring, rustling. Word number 4, arrogant, meaning thinking you are better or more important than others. Example, Richard was too arrogant to care about Eleanor's feelings. Alternative, proud. Conceited. Word number 5, pleaded, meaning asked for something with deep emotion or desperation. Example, Eleanor pleaded with her father to let her choose her own future. Alternative, begged, requested. Word number 6, trapped, meaning unable to escape from a place or situation. Example, Eleanor felt trapped inside her father's grand house. Alternative, stuck, caught. Word number 7, hesitated, meaning stopped for a short time before saying or doing something. Example, Thomas hesitated before speaking his heart to Eleanor. Alternative, paused, waited. Word number 8, furious, meaning extremely angry. Example, Mr. Graves was furious when Eleanor refused the marriage. Alternative, angry, enraged. Word number 9, permission, meaning approval to do something. Example, Thomas said love doesn't need permission to exist. Alternative, consent, approval. Word number 10, freely, meaning without control, fear, or limits. Example, Eleanor finally chose to live and love freely. Alternative, openly, willingly. That's all for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the story and learned some new words and expressions. Keep practicing every day, and you'll see great improvement in your English. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss any future lessons. Thank you so much for watching. Stay motivated, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and take care.